so much of your investments have been centered in and around Argentina. So I just have to ask you, what changed for you today? What changes for these technology companies down there on the ground?
I mean, the reality is if you've been operating in Argentina for the last 20 years, you've kind of seen it all. You've had pesoification of your dollars. You've had nationalization of your retirement assets. You've had cheating on the inflation statistics. And as a startup operator, you've basically had to deal with all of these things. And if anything, if you're already operating, the reality is most of the Argentine startups actually make all of their revenues in Brazil and the rest of the region, more so than Argentina. If anything, when the peso devalues, it actually increases their competitive advantage. And so if you're Mercado Libre, if you're Recarga, nothing really changed. If anything, you might actually be in a better position. The problem is more for the tech ecosystem and community on a go-forward basis. Fewer startups are going to be created. Venture capitalists are going to be more wary of investing in the country given the uncertainty over Macri's re-election in October. That said, let's not overreact. I mean, this is absolutely terrible news for the country, but these are still the primaries, and we'll see what happens in October.
Right. Well, and do we know anything about the potentially new incoming government in October, assuming President Mauricio Macri loses that? What those new government policies could be around financial startups in the tech community? Do we have any details?
They have been very succinct in details. I'd be very skeptical of whatever the promises they make, given Christina Kirchner's position as vice president. I mean, the concern, of course, is that she's controlling and pulling the strings from behind the scenes, and she'll be de facto president. And her husband and her presidency has really been absolutely horrible for the country and for the tech community in the country, creating both an environment of uncertainty, cheating in the statistics, and inflation. I mean, regardless of the reassurances they've been trying to make to the public markets today, I'd be skeptical of their claims, just given their past history.
Fabrice, if I'm looking at a country that defaulted on its obligations, do I have any more certainty that if I invest in a company there on the ground that I could get my money out?
In the past, you've always found ways to deal with that. So you can actually structure around how the companies where the companies are owned, or where the parent company is, and where the quality is. So I'm not too concerned that even if they reintroduce capital controls, which I hope they don't, you can get money out of your investment should you find a liquidity event. The issue is, will anyone want to buy a company that is Argentine? Will its prospects be there? And so I think just in general, the uncertainty of the macroeconomic environment is negative, but if a company sells, you can sell it.